Hello everyone, welcome back to your favorite dental channel. Today we are going to study a very important exam topic, orthopedic appliance. Trust me, this topic is super scoring if you understand the concept plus diagram properly. So quick question for you, have you ever thought how do we correct the jaw problems in growing patient? Yes, that is where the orthopedic appliance come into play. So let's start in a simple and a fun way. Introduction. So what are the orthopedic appliances? So first understand this line clearly. There are the three ways to treat the skeletal malocclusion. So first one is growth modification, second one is dental camouflage, and the third one is orthodontic surgery. So which one is used in growing patient? Yes, the answer is growth modification. So now come the definition. Orthopedic appliance. So orthopedic appliance are those appliances that produce skeletal changes using the heavy force, that is a 300 to 500 gram. Okay, so the appliance that produce skeletal changes by applying orthopedic force 300 to 500 gram are known as orthopedic appliance. So simple language is these appliances change the jawbone, not just teeth. Okay, so these appliances need extra anchorage. Okay, so since they employ heavy force, adequate anchorage required is gained by the extraoral, means like occipital, parietal, frontal cranial bones and the cervical vertebrae. So that is why they are often extraoral appliance. Okay. So now we will see the types, which is very important for the exam. So the most widely used orthopedic appliances are the headgear, protractor force mask, that is a reverse full headgear, and the chin cup. So in this diagram you see on the left side, this is a headgear which is attached to the back of the head. In the middle you see a face mask which is pulling the maxilla forward. And the right side you see a chin cup. This is a chin cup which is controlling the mandibular growth. So which one is used for the class 3rd? The answer is face mask is used for the class 3rd. Okay. Now we see cases of the orthopedic appliance therapy. So orthopedic appliance generally use teeth as handle to transmit force to the underlying skeletal structure. So the basis of the orthopedic appliance therapy resides in amount of force and the duration of the force. So we see the principle of using orthopedic appliance. So the basic principle are magnitude of force, duration of the force, direction of the force, age of the patient and the timing of the force application. So easy trick here is like that. So A for the amount of the force, D for duration of the force, here D for direction of the force, A for age, and the T here is timing. So you can easily remember like this, that is ADAT. Now we see one by one. So first one is magnitude of the force. So here extraorally force we apply here is 400 to 600 gram per side. So why heavy force? Because for the maximum skeletal changes and the minimum dental changes. So here it comprising the period on the pressure side. Okay. Now we see the duration of the force. So here the duration of force will be 12 to 14 hours per day. So it will effectively bring about the orthopedic changes. So here it is important is it is non-continuous. So here it causes less damage compared to the continuous having force. Okay. So less damages as compared to the continuous heavy force. So question for you, should patient wear it whole day? No, it is mostly part-time. Okay. Now the third one is direction of the force. So it should be decided as per the clinical need. When the line of force passes through the center of a resistance of the skeletal structure to be moved. Okay. So here when the line of force passes through the center of a resistance of the skeletal, the structures to be moved. Now we will see the age of the patient when we use this orthopedic appliance. So this will use mostly during the mixed dentition and prepubertal growth spurt, and it will continue to the adolescent growth spurt. So why this age? Because the growth here is active, and to prevent the reversible because of the residual growth spurt. Okay. Now we see the timing of the force application. So best timing here is evening and the night. Here reason is growth hormone release is higher at the night. So question is why night wear is advised? Because of the growth hormone. So here the endocrine hormone help in growth hormone release during the night. So therefore it is mostly used in the evening and the night. Okay. Now we see the headgear, which is very very important for the exam. Sometimes in exam it is asked in short notes. So first we will see the introduction. So here the headgear is the most commonly used extra orthopedic appliance. So here it is used during the growth period to intercept or to correct the skeletal malocclusion, to distalize the maxillary dentation to the maxilla as an anchorage unit. Okay, now we see the components of the headgear. So here it is three parts. That is, the first one is force delivery unit, that is a face bow and the Z hook. Second one is anchorage unit, that is a head cap and the neck strap. So this is, you see, this is a head cap. And the third one is force generating unit, that is a elastic and the spring. Okay, so if we see, the first one is face bow. So this is a face bow. So it is a metallic framework which is made up of large gauge wire. It can be attached to the teeth either via brackets, that is a fixed orthodontic appliance, or the removable appliance. Now we see the parts of the face bow. So here this one is junction. So this is junction. This one is outer bow, and this one is inner bow. Okay, so this is a part of the face bow. So we see one by one. That is, the first one is junction. So it is a point of the attachment of the inner and the outer bow, which may be shoulder or the welded. So it is a connection. It is a connection between the outer and the inner bow. Okay, it is located in the midline. So you see this is located in the midline. Although it can be shifted either right or the left side depending upon the asymmetrical force needed. Okay. Now the second one is inner bow, that is this one. So this it is made up of 0.045 or the 0.052 round stainless steel wire. It is counted to follow the shape of the dental arch. So this is the shape of the dental arch, you see. So friction stops are placed in the bow mesial to the buccal tube of the first permanent molar to prevent the inner bow. So you see here it will look like this is a friction stop. That side also friction stop will be formed. So this friction stop are placed in the bow mesial to the buccal tube of the first permanent molar to prevent the inner bow from sliding too far distally through the tube. Okay, so it is made up of 0.045 to 0.052 stainless steel wire. It follows the dental arch and has the friction stop. So here the purpose is it prevents the sliding of the bow. Okay, now we see the outer bow. So this one is the outer bow. Okay, so it is made up of a round stainless steel wire of 0.051 to 0.062, that is countered to fit around the face. It has outer bow on both sides and the distal end is curved to form a hook. So you see this is a curve. So it will be curved to form a hook that gives attachment to the force generating unit. So the outer bow can be short, medium or the long. So what are the types of the outer bow? So first one is short. That means the outer bow is lesser in length than the inner bow. Medium, that is the outer bow length is equal to the inner bow, and the long, that is the outer bow is longer than the inner bow. So which type gave more control? That is a long outer bow. Okay. Now we see the force generating unit. So maybe in the form of spring, elastic and the other stretchable material. Now we see the anchorage. So where we take support. So headgear appliance derive anchorage from the extraoral side using the rigid bone of skull or the back of the neck. There is a cervical attachment, that is neck strap. Occipital attachment, that is a head cap, and the combination of the cervical and the occipital attachment may also be used. Now we see the principle in the use of the headgear, that is the center of the resistance of the dentition and the center of the resistance of the maxilla. So we see now the types of the headgear. So first one is cervical headgear. So you see it is attached to the neck and it causing the molar extrusion. Okay, so it is attached to the nape of the neck, that is the back of the neck. Extrusion of the molar leading to the increase in the lower facial height. So this extrusion of the molar causing the lower facial height to increase. So it moves the maxillary dentation and the maxilla in the distal direction. Okay, So it causing the maxillary dentation at the maxilla in the distal direction. Distally it will move. Okay, so it will use in the deep bite cases. Okay, now the second one is occipital headgear. You see, this one is occipital headgear. So here it will, the direction of the force will be upward and the backward. That is a distal and the superiorly directed force. That is a upward. Okay. Combination headgear. That is a combination of the cervical and the occipital. Here the upward force is exerted on the maxilla and the maxillary dentation. So this one is combination headgear. Now we see the uses of the headgear. So first one is orthopedic effect. Anchorage augmentation, distalization, molar rotation and the space maintainer. So most common use is distalization. So guys, today we cover orthopedic appliance in a very simple way. If you revise these ones, you can easily write 5 to 10 marks answer in exam. If you found this helpful, like, share and subscribe, and tell me in comments which topic should I cover next. See you in the next video.